welcome to the show. My name is Mariah Afolabi Brown. We're reaching you live from the presidential villa of the State House here in Lagos. And our special guest today is the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency, Mrs. Aisha Buhari. What's going on? How are you doing?
I had the roller coaster night yesterday, up and down. It's like because we're preparing for our conference on Sunday, so everything is happening at the same time. But we're excited. I'm excited to be here.
Great.
It's a fantastic
Hi,
opportunity.
What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm excited to be here today. Yesterday was a crazy day.
Yeah. Your car broke down somewhere, Abby?
Yes.
Pele.
With my baby and everything. But
Yeah.
I'm grateful to God.
The life of a working
I'm
mother.
telling you, with the new baby. Chokwe, how are you?
I'm very, very good.
You look nice and pretty this morning.
Thank you. I'm excited about today's show. I'm excited about the Sunday event. And today is World Celebration of Violence Against Women. And I think that is something we should always put on our forefront, because a lot of women are suffering from violence that they cannot defend themselves against.
Yeah.
And so we must remember that women should be nurtured, loved, and cared for, because they're doing that for every other person in the
I think,
house.
today is actually the elimination of violence against women. So this is the cocoa. We need to eliminate it.
Yes.
It's not just to celebrate violence. It's about eliminating.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break now because we have a special guest on today. The wife of the president is here with us. But first, we're going to take a break. We're going to go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, we're going to start with the Punch this morning. Okay, Akeredolu disagree as Jegede calls for poll delay. Ondo election holds Saturday, INEC insists. Corruption has made governance difficult, says Gowon. Filmmaker Seun Egbebe arraigned for stealing 9 iPhones. Fort Oil, MRS 222 others bid for crude lifting contracts. Obasanjo is grandfather of corruption in Nigeria, says reps. Amosu, Akonde, Ajimobi, Aregbesola meet over APC crisis. All right, this filmmaker story.
Yeah.
Who read that article?
I did, and I watched on Wednesday when you guys discussed it on the show, and I read his own release, saying that it obviously was not him who wrote that public release, forgive me, but he was saying that there was a campaign of calumny, that he didn't steal any phones, that he was relaxing at home. Immediately he made his public release. The Nigerian police responded and said he is cooling here. In fact, we have arraigned him.
But I'm very much impressed with the Nigerian police, because they arraigned him within
24 hours.
Of the arrest. And
No.
this is unusual.
Yeah.
When it comes to every other, so we're thinking that they'll go deep, but
My worry, Jumoke, is that they said this guy did the same thing last year.
Why was he released?
No, I'm wondering. Wait, are you sure there's nothing spiritual? Is
We
it?
don't know for a fact.
No, someone even called, and it was it was trending all over social media.
Something spiritual.
I heard another part of the story where they said that he turned the sales reps into mannequins while he disappeared with the phones. The phones are worth, I'm telling you, they were just watching like this. And the phones are worth 2.4 million naira
that's a lot
actually.
of money.
This story is always
And you are going to your car to pick that kind of money. What of it transfer?
Let's move on to
Let him have his days in court.
Vanguard. Senate tired of passing unexecuted budget, says Saraki. Says Senate will pass the 2017 budget on time to conclude constitutional amendments early 2017. 6 media partnership to end economic recession. Presidential helicopter recently released to the Nigerian Air Force crashes. CBN sold $356 million to raw materials sector in October. Nigeria moves its gas market from USA to Asia. And you are the grandfather of corruption in Nigeria. Rep Stel Obasanjo. We'll talk about that in talk about Obasanjo in Daily Sun. But let's pick up the other stories.
I have 2 stories in Vanguard. Yes, the helicopter story. You remember how we said that we had 9 planes in the presidential fleet. 2 of them were put up for sale. 2 of them were reallocated to the Nigerian Air Force. Now, one of them, the Augusta 101, landed in Makurdi, Nigerian Air Force base, and due to human error, this article from Vanguard said, due to human error, the flight attendant had landed the plane, and then the plane took off by itself and crashed, breaking a few wings, injuring the flight.
I'm pained.
Why?
Because if the government had sold this aircraft, would have made money.
Maybe nobody would have bought it.
No, it's human error. They didn't say the aircraft had issues.
But I think that moving forward from this, if it is sure that it is human error, based on the lineup of the events, that guy, the pilot needs to be evaluated properly to be sure and identify what caused the problem. It wasn't in the right frame of mind, so we can prevent this from happening next time.
He has been hospitalized.
Well, let's talk about the fact that the Senate is saying they are tired of passing budgets that are not going to be executed. Interesting. Now we have
they
that
have the right.
they don't get things are not done in their various constituencies.
They have a right to complain, but they also have the right for oversight duty. And within the oversight duty means that they should regularly call on the ministers in charge of all these ministries that they feel are falling short in execution of the budget to tell them why they are falling short. I know for the Minister of Health that they cut down his budget, so he didn't have money to do what he was supposed to do. But for others, that you got the money, why didn't you do what you're supposed to do?
According to the report in the Vanguard, when I read it, they said because there's a delay in their constituency allocations to carry out their constituency functions, that money is being delayed, but has been approved by the government, but it hasn't been paid to them, and that is one of the reasons why they'll be holding down the
when you say
budget.
oversight function, how many things can they really?
Well,
no, but that's why they have the retinue of staff.
And then you have committees in the National Assembly to oversee different things. Now, Senate President Saraki was speaking to the Senate and journalists in the press rally organized by the Senate press corps, and he was saying that the journalists need to be more factual in their reporting. They're tired of continually just passing budgets that are never actually executed, and that's why they're looking critically at 2017 budget, that it will be passed early, but they want quick execution also, and that's why they're setting up all these committees to oversee them.
And it's also seeking media partnership to help end this issue of economic recession, saying that the media needs to play a big role in trying to help ensure to pass the right information to the policy so that it doesn't get heated.
I wanted to move away from that. There's a story that Kachuku has found new terrains for gas supplies. Yeah, it's in Vanguard. It's actually it's in
front page. Because then Nigeria moves in gas from US.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the story.
Go ahead,
so Kachuku is from his report. He said that the market in the US is already thinning out. Yeah. So they're already looking at other grounds like Asia and all that. I'm happy about the move. At least, okay, we know that we are moving and we're making money. But what we need to do, there are countries that electricity is powered by gas. So I would rather that we look for investors that would come to Nigeria instead of exporting our gas. Let us find a way to channel that, because we have a shortfall in electricity. Channel that and create power plants that can power people. Yes, we have excess gas.
We have excess gas and we have enough to make it. Yes. Right now we're in recession and we need to find a way out of it. So it's a good thing that is looking at the market. We have enough to power gas here.
Let's take our final paper this morning, which is Daily Sun. Attack on National Assembly. Obasanjo under fire.
Gang.
Reps tackle ex-president and accuse his government of corruption. Probe him over $16 billion electricity contract, says Sarah. Picture here of Vice President Oshibajo comments Anambra industrialists over job creation. National Assembly tired of passing budget federal government won't implement, says Taraki. We talked about that. 2 killed as suicide bombers attack Maiduguri Motor Park. Ondo Guba. Jegede demands polls shift. Jimo Ibrahim loses again. And Amnesty's report on Biafra Senate. Masob, IPOB furious over a Jesus killing. Okay, let's talk about Jegede real quick and then Obasanjo. Jegede tried really hard to get them to move the election. Unfortunately, INEC is insisting that they spent so much money already.
True.
There was no way.
That's the truth. Did you see the front page, I think, of Punch or Sun?
Materials.
With the materials that have been, I don't know why we keep moving, because now if you say postpone the elections, have you checked the cost of postponing that election, I mean, you cannot quantify it, and we cannot be spending money that we don't have.
Yeah. We need to speed up the court process so that whatever judgment should have been given will be given early enough. Because this was a little bit, the judgment was given pretty late. Yeah. So there will be a lot of court cases after this election.
And talk is an internal inter-party issue. Doesn't concern INEC. So you cannot sort out your own house.
We need to move away from politics of me, myself, and I, and politics of serving the people. I mean, your political party is on the ballot box. You people go and arrange your home. Exactly. We don't want to know what your dirty linen looks like.
Exactly.
And like
independent.
Hey,
we ready Baba has spoken. Baba said.
Baba spoke yesterday.
And then
so in the National Assembly, in their House of, in fact, the spokesperson of the House of Reps was saying that Baba, with all of this, is plenty accusations, is the grandfather of corruption.
Yes, so that he tried to get the National Assembly to do a third term. But unfortunately, because they refused, that's why he's not attacking them. But you see, it goes back to the issue of you are killing the messenger, not the message. He gave a really, really profound message of corruption. That the military stinks, judiciary stinks, and National Assembly stinks. So
and the spokesperson responded to those allegations also to say that we have set up a 72-man committee to look into to MDAs, to oversee all the agencies. All of them were already doing the work. So what's Baba saying?
I have nothing against Baba Yabo. Honestly, obviously we have things against the assembly because one, we cannot forget Jibrin, and as much as they try to put it down, we will not forget Jibrin. And the allegations is brought up. As long as the assembly does not address the issue of Speaker Dogara and all the other padding, budget padding, and the issue of running costs, then they stink.
Nima want to say something.
No, I was going to say that the former president Obasanjo cannot absorb himself of this.
Definitely not. Nobody's
because as the first democratically elected president after a long time in Nigeria, what did he do to establish the corruption-free house?
Thank you.
True.
That is where I agree with them, and I fault former President Obasanjo. You should have put in systems. You know, he thought. I read a book by El-Rufai talking about what's it called? Accidental civil servant. He was saying that, you know, I think with the projections that came, he didn't see it fit enough that there was somebody that would be able to hold on to what Nigeria was going to become. So you as a fantastic leader, you must have a fantastic successor. If you do not put a process in place for a successor to come on board, then you have not done your job as a leader. If you think it is only you that can do the job.
You think that I'm defending them, but they've also said, the spokesperson also mentioned that the EFCC is already investigating the issue of budget padding.
All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. Now to the moment we've been waiting for, an opportunity to speak with the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency, Mrs. Aisha Buhari. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. We have with us the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency, Mrs. Aisha Buhari. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you very much. A very good morning to all of the young ladies.
Right, so we're going to go straight into our interview with you because we have very little time. The Future Assured is your pet project.
Yeah.
And we read that it's about infant mortality, malnutrition, healthcare delivery, and generally about women affairs. Why did you choose this specific area as a pet project?
Actually, the way it is now in the country, every aspect needs a help. That's why I decided to spread my help, cut across. But basically, for every first lady or wife of the governor or wife of the president, as you're all aware that we don't have any budget, we don't have any constitutional role to play. It is an informal status, but basically very strong. So based on that, we decided to complement the efforts of the government. That's first of all, as mothers, we decided to help in reducing the maternal mortality, the infant mortality, and also trying to empower women.
Most times when we have governors' wives, presidents' wives, during their probably 4 years, 8 years in office, they have projects, and those projects are really, really commendable. But what we see all the time is that these projects, after you leave office, there's little or no continuity in that line. So the projects that you have rolled out now for Future Assured, is it going to outlive you? Are you putting in systems in place that, okay, even if I'm not here tomorrow, this vision must continue and it mustn't die?
Yeah, basically when you are given an opportunity, you use that in order to help others.
Yeah.
That's like now, presently, I'm the wife of the president. If I call somebody one call, I need a help on so thing, they'll give me the help. But once I'm not there, I think things will not be the same. So that's why the pet project dies after the office.
Interesting. Somebody was even saying, I'll let the ladies come in, that maybe it's better we just have a specific pet project for all first ladies. So each time you come in, you continue from where they stop, and then another first lady comes in, because consistently changing it might look as though people is just about somebody's idea. I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's a good idea, or do you think you just rather just do your own project?
Yeah, everybody has his own maybe a focus, but all the same, it all rallies around women and children and empowering women. That's it. It's the same thing.
So you're
it's the same thing.
On the IDP camps, ma. Sad statistics from the UN is that 700,000 children are malnourished within the IDP camps, and we're counting deaths of children daily. And it is not as if money hasn't been allocated to these places. There's a lot of corruption involved in how the management of the resources. So what are you doing with your pet project to ensure that when you get those resources available, they get to the children that really need them? And how would you ensure that you prevent those leakages that lead to the food going out?
I have full control over what I've gathered through me. I have a full control of it, in which already I have an 11-woman committee that's working on the relief materials that I'm sending to Borno, because due to what I used to hear, the leakages that you're talking about and all that, I decided to form a committee before getting to Borno with my relief materials, in which I think out of all the contributions that have been sent into Borno, I think it's only my own that's getting to people like 85%. And I make sure that it gets to the right people. For the other ones, I have no control over them because it's for government.
Your pet project focuses on child malnutrition and maternal care. And as simple as it sounds, I know it's all those things. How do you get funding for this project? And how far are you willing to go to get more funding?
Yeah, like something to do with malnutrition. If you could remember, we have launched a Get Involved by hearing that about almost 1 million children will die as a result of malnutrition if something is not done. I decided to launch a Get Involved by calling companies that produce nutritional foods for the children. We invited them to Abuja. They displayed their goods like for almost a week. We call on all well-meaning Nigerians to come and see what they have displayed. If they really need to help, they pay directly into the company's account, and then we receive goods. I did not even see the goods. I sent the goods from the company to Borno straight. As I'm talking to you now, we have offloaded so far 13 trucks of goods. So we're just waiting for the distribution. And that one I've already involved the senators, the members, House of Reps, up to councillor, with my committee members to go together, distribute it from one local government to another.
We hear that House of Reps. We get
I've seen how you've involved the wife of the Senate President, Mrs. Toyin Saraki, in Future Assured, particularly in the 2-year-old toddler's case. Musa, who was bastardized by his stepmother and grandmother. I'd like you to tell us how he's doing. I saw you and the wife of the vice president, go to see him. I'd like you to tell us how he's doing, and also how accountable have you been to your funders? How do you get funding, and how do you show that we are not corrupt? So it's 2 questions in one.
Yeah, basically we are not corrupt, and we will never be. What I did was, after I've heard about Musa, I've sent for him in Kano, with the consent of the governor of Kano State and other dignitaries, just for them to be aware of what I'm doing and what I intend to do, to help the child. There's a very good hospital in Abuja, but it's quite expensive. Before I sent for him, I had to call somebody. Okay, I'm going to send for that boy. I don't know how much it will cost. Can you help me to settle his bill in the hospital? The person said yes. So, in fact, somebody volunteered to send a jet to go and pick him up in Kano. Yeah, that was what happened. So they went with my brother, they picked him up. By the time they got to Abuja, I wasn't available, so I called Mrs. Saraki and my daughter Zara to go and receive the boy and the parents, in which they did. And later on, I visited the boy with the wife of the vice president. Yeah. And so far so good, he recovered. He had multiple surgeries. It was quite a bad case. It cost so much, to treat him. But we thank God it's all over now. He's well, and he also started going to school. He started going to school. He started school. He started school. Yeah.
That's amazing. All right. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this interview with the wife of the president. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have here with us the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Mrs. Aisha Buhari. Now, Ma, critics often say that pet projects generally are sort of conduit pipe for money because, yes, she has to do something to make money to certain people in the, civil servants. So what are your thoughts on the fact that, must you have a pet project? Can't you just say, healthcare, Ministry of Health or Ministry of Women Affairs, let me work with you to do something? Must you have a pet project? Because there are critics saying that it might be a conduit pipe. What would you say to that?
Well, my own, I don't know what the name is given to it, but the way I look at it, it's just a support. We're just supporting the government. In any form.
I even wanted to help that argument to say that based on what she had said, because Jumoke asked 2 questions and she answered the first one. Based on what she had said, the reason we are seeing transparency here is direct from source straight to the people that need it. Yeah. There's no link of money. So the conduit pipe is when you collect the money and probably you do not want to disperse. So based on that.
Yes,
so based on the popular case of S.A. Oruru, a lady that was kidnapped by a man, allegedly kidnapped by a man, moved over to the north and married forcefully. And she's not the only one. We've had many cases of young ladies being kidnapped. Your pet project deals with education for the girl child. And I know that education for the girl child usually would prevent this kind of thing. How are you addressing the case of that? How are you improving child education? Female child education, and how are you addressing cases of girls being kidnapped and forcefully married? when they're really young?
Yeah, this is a different issue entirely, and I'm still seeking for having an assistance like SA on girl child education, girl child and adult education. We have already proposed that because I need somebody that has a wealth of experience on girl child and also educationist to hand that aspect for me. But otherwise, it's part of what we intend to do, but I need an expert to guide me on it. Like now that we do.
Everybody will send their CVs.
Okay, I'd like to know why your focus is entirely. Of course, we know that the Boko Haram is a serious concern, but why are you focusing only on Borno? Because, you know, apart from the IDPs in Borno, there are other areas, even in Lagos, as urban as it might sound, where you have slums and you have very serious cases of malnourished children within these areas that nobody can access. So how is your team working to see that they access these areas and spread it across?
Yeah, I think what makes a Borno different is there's a need for urgent attention, you understand? Why a lot of people are living in the same area, hundreds of thousands of people, those that used to live in their own homes, you know, under their comfort, you understand? But they happen to find themselves in a situation where maybe 200,000 people are using the same kitchen. So these are the type of people that really needs help, you understand? I know that the cases are all over in Nigeria, the malnutrition cases all over in Nigeria, but there are some that needs more attention.
Would you say that, I have succeeded? For now, you have 3 more years. You may have an extra 4 years if people vote in your husband. At what point would you say that this pet project will have attained our vision?
Statistics.
Yeah, depending on the support that we're getting from well-meaning Nigerians, that's my strength.
All right, can we move away to another part that I know about you? Being that I am also a beauty person myself, I'm involved in the beauty world as well. I know you wrote a book on the essentials of beauty therapy,
yeah.
You know, and honestly speaking, I do surveys on consumption of what we use in terms of beauty products, and we have, I think, up to 90% of what we use as cosmetic coming from outside the country. We do not manufacture. And Tokwe she did an amazing thing this year, started training 10 girls per month, you know, and successfully she's trained over 90 girls in the beauty world. That, in that sense, you have taken girls off the street that would have thought about prostitution or something. She's teaching them the skill because she's a makeup artist. So I know what beauty can do in terms of not just generating money for the economy, it can also help young girls see a better, you know, them. So what are you doing along that light? And are you looking at it at all from that angle?
Yeah, that's why I decided to put whatever I know, the knowledge that I have acquired on beauty therapy. I decided to put it in writing, to keep it, so that it will help others. And a lot of beauty schools are using my book as a manual. And it's been approved by the Federal Ministry of Education. I will send you one.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. So, so are you looking beyond just the book? Let us find a way to create an industry.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's already in existence. It's just that it's coming from
outside. It's a new industry.
Yes.
You know, it's a new industry. It got a lot of untapped wealth.
Yes.
And if our people will define the beauty correctly,
yes, ma'am,
I think sky will be our limit.
Fantastic.
There are a lot of things that can be done under beauty therapy, you know, but people are just limiting beauty therapy to makeup alone. There are a lot of body works, you know. Under body works, you got a lot of things. I've started writing the second phase of my book. That's part 2.
Wow.
That one deals with body works alone.
Wow.
And I hope I'll have time to finish it.
I want to ask you about, back to your pet project. I'm a mother. I have a baby. I have an 8-month-old baby. She has a 2-month-old baby. So we just got out of pregnancy stage. In Nigeria, pregnant women are scared. It is a life and death situation. If you go to general hospitals, you might just die. And we you have made this one of your projects that you want to focus on. And I know that just in Lagos yesterday you launched the mother care kits
Mama kits, yeah.
For 2,200 women, and it is a good one. I however would like to know what else you're doing to help women get more aware about how to prevent maternal mortality, or help health workers who seem to be overburdened on how to relieve the stress. What are you doing in that line?
Yeah, that's the first phase that we're taking now. That's launching the mama kits. That's going from one state to another, seeing what we can do in order to help in reducing the maternal mortality by having basic things. That's like mama kit, having a basic pack, whatever a woman may need to go into a labor room with. A lot of women cannot afford it. Sure. And that one, and that makes them to stay at home and have the baby on their own, which is very dangerous. As a result of being alone in the house, you know, trying to have a baby, it may result to having a lot of complications. It will either affect the mother or the baby. So in that case, we decided to distribute a mama kit from one state to another.
Okay. As a follow-up, please, are you sure that it is getting to the people that really need it, the poor people that cannot afford it?
Maybe 80% will get to them. 80% will get to them because I monitor whatever I'm doing from my bedroom.
Before we moved on from the issue of your book, it was launched on the 2nd anniversary of the Boko Haram girls kidnap, and a lot of people criticized that. You defended yourself. I'd like you to use this opportunity to defend yourself again. But the second question is, how can people join you in your pet projects? A lot of our viewers will be wondering why we're focusing on this, but it's because it's about women, children, and girls that can't help themselves. How can we, as Nigerian citizens, join you, to solve the problem? But why did you launch a book on the 2nd anniversary of the Boko Haram kidnapping?
I wrote my book 2 years before the day I've launched it. I never knew that I would be in the villa to launch it, and I never knew that the proceeds will go to the mothers of the Chibok girls. But that's how God wants it, and I thank God for that, for using me to help others. And how to help me or to help my future assured.
Yes.
We have never collected cash from well-meaning Nigerians. Rather, when we identify an area where somebody or a group need help, we identify what they want, contact the company or contact the person and so on, and they will look for sponsor, and the sponsor will pay directly into the person's account, not us. We have never received anything.
I love the fact that you are aware of that most women would avoid hospitals rather than go there to have their children, and that's why you launched the mama kits. But I also like a situation where you build their confidence in attending these hospitals, because I used the general hospital to have my second child, and I've used the private hospital for my first child. I see no difference, and I see the doctors, they practice more in the general hospitals. I'd rather a situation where, rather than having our doctors fly out of this country, you partner them and get them to go down to the rural areas and build the confidence. People know that they have the best hands there, and they are more confident to go there, not being deterred by the fact that the cost is too high. What can you do in that area to build the confidence of people, of mothers?
Like I've already told you earlier on, that I don't have any constitutional role to play. but for the, I think what you have just said is, it has to do with the Minister of Health. If they can sit around the table with doctors and Nigerians, I think it will reduce the brain drain that we're facing in the country.
Talking about this issue, we know that the people that deliver babies are actually the midwives, and they are really, really, it's only cases of when the doctors, when there are complications that you would need a doctor.
Consultants, yeah.
Now, is there any way, by chance, possible that, even if we don't have maybe hospitals, because if these women are already comfortable going to these places, if we can now take out those people and equip them with the same kits you're talking
Primary
about.
health care.
That is what the primary health care is supposed to do.
Yes.
You know, but I'm saying that they're already in existence. We can't just shove them aside. Since people will still go there, you know, is there a way that we can also empower them as well, at least to handle cases? Is that possible?
Empowering.
The traditional midwives that have
Okay, the
these
training.
Yes.
Okay.
Successfully in Lagos.
I think the UNFPA are doing a lot
Okay.
in training the local birth attendants, and I think they have really gone far. There are a lot of NGOs that are in Nigeria and also working towards that.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'd like to move away from this your pet project and talk about, learn more about you, get to know about you more. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. Right, so we still have with us our wife of the president here with us, Her Excellency Mrs. Aisha Buhari. Now let me ask you something. What's your take on gender equality? Do you believe that women are equal to men? Do you believe that it's time for us to have that equality? Because a lot of people are talking these days about men and women should be given the same equal opportunities. What's your take on gender equality?
Men and women naturally are not the same, and it will never be. And all that we are after is to be treated nicely as women, right? Then any other thing follow after that one.
Isma, I want to ask you a question. You're a mother. You know, most of the time when people see, when you become a person like the wife of the president, first lady, whatever, they don't see you as a mother anymore. They don't see you as a wife anymore. How have you been coping with parenting? I know your children are not baby. I have babies, so your children, they still need supervision. How do you balance that? I need to watch on what my little girl is doing. I need to know how she's behaving in school. Do you still have time to be hands-on? Do you know if she has a boyfriend or?
Yeah, actually I have a 4-year-old now with me. Wow. I've adopted. Wow. My stepdaughter died and left a 2-day-old child, so I've adopted her. So she's our baby in the house now. She's the baby of the house now. Wow. So all of us, like, we normally ask after her after 1 hour, 2 hours, you understand, to look for where she is. And I'm really, you know, performing the motherly role, you know, so as it should. It's not easy, but I know, like, sometimes if I'm going to the office, she'll say, "Oh, mommy, are you going? Why are you going? Wait for me." She'll start packing her shoes and all that to follow me. The securities will be holding up, "Okay, you go this way, go that way." "No, mommy, I must follow you." This. So these are the type of things.
How do you interpret this saying that behind every successful man, there's a woman?
Or beside.
Yeah, beside or behind. Yeah, beside or behind is all the same. And you know, naturally we women, we are such a supportive human beings, naturally. So I think that's what makes this statement.
Okay, the Lagos State government is doing a fantastic job in eradicating violence against women. I know that your role is just to help the federal government. What are you doing from the center to help eradicate violence against women?
I think in that case, we still need to use the men that does the violence. So we still have to use them in order to stop it. Okay. Because it's really a bad thing in the society, and it's happening everywhere, not only in Nigeria, all over the world. There's nothing new about it. And up till now, it's not been addressed the way it should.
Interesting.
That's how I feel.
Okay. I just wanted to say, you know, I have to go back to the beauty world. You look very, very pretty, and you actually look very trim and fit. So how do you keep fit? How do you stay beautiful? And how do you let your hair down? Like, I want to picture you maybe by the beach sand, relaxing. So what's your take of fun?
In 2-piece bikini?
Yeah. I make sure that I eat healthy. That's eating a lot of vegetables and fruits, though it's not something that everybody wants to eat. Vegetables. It's even better fruits, but when it comes to vegetables, a lot of people don't like eating it, and I think it's the best. And doing some exercise, 30 minutes of walk, vigorous walk.
Really? They let you walk in the villa?
Yeah, I do. I even run.
Wow. Do they run after you?
Occasionally, yeah, they do.
Let's see some tweets. We're about to run very soon.
Dare says, I'm proud of my first lady. Precious Sack says, please, how can a pregnant woman get the package launched by the president's wife? Then White Lion says, Tambe Leonard says, tell Madam she's the most beautiful first lady in Africa.
Lily Uko says, I love the phrase, I monitor everything I give from my bedroom. In short, that's going to be the hashtag.
Let's not even go there.
No, but I mean, it means that she's hands-on, and she's following through the project.
Okay, Gabriel Abdul Liman says, this woman looks real and natural. With her support, I see Buhari succeeding in cleaning Nigeria.
All right, so we're going to have to close the show very soon. I just wanted to hear your last words, your thoughts to your people, especially the women and the children that your pet project focuses on.
Yeah, as we're all aware that today all over the world is being celebrated the eradication of violence against women. So I think one of the major factors that hinders women for their rights to be violated or anything against domestic violence, I think the first thing, like the fear of the unknown that makes a woman to stay in a violent relationship, I think is lack of financial independence. Like what we did yesterday in Lagos, we have launched an empowerment program where we have sponsored over 2,000 women and youths on different skills. I think if our women can get themselves involved in skills in order to sustain themselves, it will make them out of all this, any form of violence.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we've been speaking to the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that is Her Excellency Mrs. Aisha Buhari. We had a fantastic time with her. Thank you very much for coming. Have a lovely weekend. See you Monday.
Bye. Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye.